本当は諦めてなんかないんだろう、エマ。
What's going on, YouTube? Legend here once again. This time, we're going to talk about some Promised Neverland, actually. Recently, the latest chapter of Promised Neverland came out, which actually was the final chapter. And I just want to talk about it real quick, because Promised Neverland actually was one of my favorite series, or is one of my favorite series. I put it in my top 10. I loved it all the way from when I read the first chapter when it first came out to the point where I waited for the anime to come out. I watched that and then continued to read the manga all the way to the end. And honestly, I think it was a great series. Probably the strongest arc was the first arc that came out for the series. And honestly, it's because the thing is, it gave me a Death Note vibe. It gave me a very strong Death Note vibe while watching it. Even though it was very different from it, it was just more so just the whole mind game part, where it was like it wasn't going to be about fighting and action and everything like that. Even though later on in the series there are some fights, but they're more strategic than action based. And I kind of just got that vibe from it, and that attracted me to it. And also, I'm a sucker for world building, and the world just gave me some type of intrigue and trying to understand what it was. And you know, that the first arc was possibly the strongest arc, but my favorite arc was actually the Goldie Pond arc, where Emma gets into Goldie Pond and tries to have Barry escape. But yeah, I mean, the series had a lot of good moments in it. I really enjoyed it all the way through. But the thing is, though, one thing that's controversial was when it came towards the end, the final arcs, people did have problems with. And me personally, I actually feel that I didn't like the final arc. Actually, I really didn't like it when it came to fighting the queen. She was kind of like compared to like villains like Mom or what's his name from Goldie Pond. The queen just kind of fell short a little bit. Just a super powerful demon that was just running things. But yeah, I didn't really care about the queen at all. But and then things just started kind of happening things just kind of went too well for a little while, and I was getting worried. I was hoping that I was going to see another 7 Deadly Sins, but that's not what happened. I was pretty satisfied with the ending, actually, because I was actually about to get mad when spoilers, when Emma was made the deal with what's his name, whatever thing that they never spelled out the name, so I don't even know what to call it. I just made a noise in my head whenever they read it, whenever it came to read them. But yeah, the guy who was running things, who grants the wishes and stuff, when you made the deals, when they even made a new deal with him, I actually believed it for a second that he was just like, oh no, there's no stipulation, you're good to go. And I was about to get very upset, because I'm just like, yo, that's too cheesy. Like that gave me a fairy tale vibe, and I don't like fairy tale. If you like fairy tale, go ahead, fine, whatever. But I don't care for it. And it gave me that, where just like there was no consequence to these big actions. But later we find out that there actually was a stipulation, and it wasn't exactly happily ever after. In the last chapter, I'm not sure if Emma decided to live with her family or not. I couldn't tell if which way she was going to go with it. I think she decided to live with them, but I think that's kind of left up to speculation a little bit. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed it. I think that the Promised Neverland was great. I enjoyed the final arcs, even though I have my gripes about the whole Queen political arc there. But yeah. Oh wait, now I think about it too. There were some things that were kind of left ambiguous a little bit too. Mujika and Sanju. The thing with Sanju was that that was kind of like a lead on. They kind of led us on that he was going to be some type of antagonistic figure later on, but he never really became that. So there were several things where I just kind of felt like things were kind of falling apart a little bit at the end, but they did exactly with the opposite of what 7 Deadly Sins did, and they ended it when it was kind of starting to go away. And I think they made the right decision to the point where I was able to keep a top 10 spot in my list. So, but yeah, I just want to kind of say what I thought about it, how I really love the series of Promised Neverland, and I hope you guys liked it, how it went too. Let me know what your thoughts are when it comes to the ending, because the ending is controversial. A lot of people, I realized, did not like the final arc and didn't like how it ended. So leave what your comments are, what your thoughts on that down below. If you like content like this, if you want to see more me talk more in depth about Promised Neverland, like the video, subscribe, and more will be coming your way. All right, with that, legend out.